What's up guys, I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm going to be doing a review of a curved ultrawide LG monitor, more specifically the 34WN80C-B monitor coming right up. So in this review, I'm going to go over the pros and the cons, and then I'm going to give you my own real life experience. And if at any point in the video you guys want to check out this monitor for yourselves, I'll have an Amazon link below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys. But right now, let's jump into the review. All right, so I have been using this monitor for a long time. This has been my daily driver. I switched out from the last LG. It was more of a gaming monitor. It was an Ultra Gear, but I switched out of that one and I'm using this ultra-wide monitor as my daily driver for my monitor. And I have to tell you guys, I love it. I love it so much. It's not a complete gaming oriented monitor like the last one was, but this is a little bit more general. It's a little bit more for everyone, and I'm going to tell you why. Even though I do gaming and editing and all of that, this is my favorite monitor. Even though it doesn't have 144 Hz like the last monitor does, this monitor is good for everyone. Okay, so jumping into the first pro, that obviously has to be the display, and most of the time as it is a display, that's how I choose my monitors. If I'm buying a monitor, I want it to look pretty. That is the biggest thing for me. Now this monitor gets super bright. Now there are brighter panels out there. However, this is enough for me, and it's still way brighter than a normal monitor that you get every day that's cheap. This thing gets about 300, typically 300 CD candelas, and that is more than enough, especially for a big monitor like this. But as well as that, it's also very color accurate. It hits 99% of the sRGB color gamut, and it is at 60 Hz, so it's not 144 Hz, but it is at 60 Hz, and the resolution is 2K essentially, but it is an ultra wide, so don't worry, it still gets the normal 2K. It's 3440 by 1440p, so it's essentially like the width of a 4K panel, but up and down of 2K. Because you have that extended screen real estate, it still keeps 2K throughout the entire monitor, so don't worry about that. It still is very sharp, and for the size of it, it's essentially like taking a 27-inch monitor and then adding this, adding the ultra wide onto it. So 2K is really good for this. Everything's really clear, and obviously this is a 21:9 aspect ratio instead of the normal 16:9, which is why this is ultra wide, and it's awesome. Now the next pro, if you are a MacBook Pro user or if you have a USB-C on your laptop, this is really good because it actually acts as a display port and a power port. So I know all MacBook Pros now use USB-C, so you can use one cable to plug in both power and your display into this monitor, which is really cool for MacBook Pro users. Now the next pro is the curve on this. So this is a curved ultra wide. Usually when you get ultra wides like this, you don't really want a flat display. You can't, it kind of distorts it because your eyeballs are going to start distorting it because it's in your peripheral vision, and having that curve actually adds a lot more usability to an ultra wide. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna get an ultra wide, get a curved ultra wide. So this curve is really nice. It's not too much. It's definitely not too little. They did a perfect amount with this. And other people have talked about, if you're editing in Premiere, there's like some, it's hard to find where your stuff is and everything's hard to line up. That's not true. I do a lot of editing on this, and I have done a lot of editing on this. It's amazing. Oh my God, the ultra wide is so nice to have that extra screen real estate. I can have Premiere open and some of my notes open, or I can just have the whole timeline just spread out, and it's really awesome to have. But no, there's no screen distortion, and that moves me into the second one, which also has to do with the curvedness, and that is gaming on this thing. Now, I game on this thing. Yes, it is 60 Hertz. I game on it. People are gonna go crazy. You can game on 60 Hertz. The crazy 144 Hertz and 244 Hertz, that hasn't been around that long as a consumer grade, like lower end consumer grade technology. It used to only be, much more expensive. And in the last 5 years, that's become like a staple. It's a really minimal change. And I just went from a monitor that was doing 144 Hertz, and I've gone to this one, and I've gamed in it. And honestly, guys, I have to tell you, the difference isn't that crazy. Like, yes, maybe if you're a CSGO player or something like a competitive one like Overwatch, where it's like really competitive, and maybe it's your job, that's probably important. However, casual, normal gaming, and I don't mean casual like you don't game every day. Like I probably play at least one game many times a week, at least 5 days a week, and I enjoy doing it, and it's really, really good on this monitor. Now that moves me into response time. This is a 5 millisecond response time, which again, you guys are gonna go crazy because all gaming monitors have 1 millisecond response time. That wasn't true 5 years ago, and gaming really hasn't changed that much since 5 years ago as far as competition, stuff like that. If you guys are really competitive into gaming, like really competitive, even Fortnite, I'm not talking about Fortnite, I'm talking about really, really competitive stuff like CSGO where every millimeter counts. Yeah, maybe this isn't the best monitor for you. However, if you just play Fortnite, if you just play, you know, Insurgency Sandstorm or Battlefield or Call of Duty, or Red Dead Redemption, that's what I play, and this thing works really great for it. And this is where the gaming part gets much better, is the immersion that you have inside of this matched with the amazing brightness and color really creates some gorgeous displays on this. And I actually prefer, more than response time and screen tearing, is a gorgeous display, brilliant colors, brightness, great contrast ratio, everything that this monitor has. You can get cheaper gaming monitors that are ultra wides, but they're not going to have the color accuracy, the contrast ratio, HDR10, all that stuff. They're not going to have it like this one has, which is why I even like this one for gaming. But that's going to move us into the ports. What does this thing have as far as ports? So it has a USB-C, a full-size display port. It has 2 HDMIs, it has 2 USBs, it has the DC power in, obviously, for powering this thing, and then it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So pretty good with ports. Obviously no issues there. It has plenty of ports for pretty much everything you do. So that's really good. Now moving to the build quality, the thing is brilliantly built. LG does a great job. It's very stable on a desk, and it also has VESA mounting capabilities. So if you do want to mount this on your wall, you can do that. This thing is really good. It used actually most of the same technology that it did on the last LG monitor that I used, which is awesome because that was a really good monitor stand. So it has the height adjustment and the tilting adjustment, which is really good. It doesn't rotate like the last one did, but it's an ultra wide, so the stand would have to be really, really tall to do that. Besides that, it does have a larger base plate on the bottom where it stands, a larger stand on the bottom to balance out the ultra wide, and it's definitely not shaky. This thing is very sturdy, and it's really easy to put the whole stand together. It takes like 2 seconds, then it clips on. It never feels like it's wobbling. Even if you hit the table a little bit, it doesn't feel like it's wobbling. LG honestly just does a really great job to actually increase the height or decrease the height. It's really easy. You barely use any force at all, and it comes up or down. It's really cool, and LG just does, I mean, I've said this a lot, but LG does a really amazing job with their build quality of stands. It blows me away. I know it's probably the most basic thing, but they do a good job. Now moving to the last couple of pros, I'm bunching these all together, but guys, there's no backlight bleed. There is no dead pixels when it's shipped. This thing is amazing, and LG's quality control is so good. And that leads me into the next pro, which is great support. LG just does such a good job. Quality control is really great at LG, better than most companies, especially Spectre, which is a gaming kind of competitor, which a lot of people will look at for cheaper ultrawides. Go with the LG, guys. It's so much more worth it. They also include a 1-year warranty. So if you do have any problems, you have a 1-year warranty. And as well, on the Amazon link below, you guys can send it back if you don't like it. It's on Prime. And another testament to LG's quality is they send you a USB-C, a very long, nice USB-C cable, as well as an HDMI cable, and that's really great. They didn't have to include that. LG does include that stuff, and I love them for that. It's so great. But guys, again, if you do want to check this monitor out, there's an Amazon link below, and if you go to that Amazon link below and you see that it's in stock and you want it, you should buy it quickly, because I looked at this monitor for a while, and every single time, and beyond just this monitor, but all the LG monitors, especially the ultrawides, they sell out. It's so hard to actually find one, and as soon as this one was in stock, I just bought it immediately because it's so hard to find these in stock. But guys, that's gonna take me into the cons, and there's only a couple, but they might be deal breakers for you. They're not for me. But moving to the first con, this monitor is fairly cheap for ultrawides, but that's as far as ultrawides go. As far as just basic monitors, this is fairly expensive, but ultrawides overall are more expensive and curved ultrawides are even more expensive. However, this is probably the best budget ultrawide you can get. I wouldn't call it a budget ultrawide, it's just that ultrawides get up to 38 inches and they're like $2,000. It's crazy. This is definitely one of the best ultrawides out there. However, in this price range, when you're paying this amount of money, it doesn't come with onboard speakers. I don't like that because so many other of the competitors come with onboard speakers. However, for me, it's not a massive con. It's definitely not a deal breaker because I do have the speaker setup, and I actually prefer having my speakers because they're definitely going to sound better than any built-in speaker system. However, in this price range, it would be nice to see some speakers, but that's why it's a con. It's a con. If it's a deal breaker for you, don't buy it. However, in this price range, you're probably going to have either some really nice headphones or speakers. I'm a speaker guy. I don't use headphones as much. That's going to move us to the second con. But this con isn't a huge con. It's not even close to being a deal breaker. However, it is something to look out for when you're setting your setup up after you get this. And that is, there's two USBs on the back. However, they do not supply power unless the USB-C is plugged in, which is like annoying. It's really annoying. Now, if you guys don't have a USB-C in your computer, you can still plug this USB-C in to anything. You can plug it into a wall, and then it would supply power to the two USBs. It's very annoying to have to do that and not just have the actual DC in supply power to the USBs, which is weird. So I have LEDs mounted on the back of them, LED backlights plugged into the USBs in the back of this monitor, and I had to plug in my USB-C to my laptop. However, it's a con. It's not a huge one, but it is a con. But guys, for the money and being an LG, having amazing quality, a warranty, amazing brightness, an IPS panel, which is super color accurate, you get the 21:9 aspect ratio in 1440p. You can't really beat LG's quality. If you guys do want to get a really good curved ultrawide, stick with LG. They make the best ones. Spectre is not going to make as nice ones. On paper, the specs look nicer, but in person, they're not going to match up. If you guys do want to go pick one of these up for you or just check it out, I have an Amazon link below, and that's probably the best place to buy it. Again, if you see it in stock, don't wait very long. These things go so quickly. Just a friendly reminder. But if you guys enjoy my review and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And you can also check out my last monitor video, and it was on a gaming monitor. It was the LG 27-inch Ultra Gear, 144 Hertz. I'm talking because I want you to click on it. It's somewhere here. Click on the video. You'll enjoy it. I'm Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys later.